Good afternoon, everybody. This is Ray Ostos here. Today, I'm going to replace the clock in my 1972 Chevelle Super Sport. I'm replacing it with a new quartz clock, and of course, this took about an hour to complete. One of the first things we got to do is remove 6 screws, 4 above the gauge cluster, and then 2 in the glove box towards the front. So once we get those out, we can pull out and up on the dash, and it comes out pretty easy. Be careful pulling it out. You don't want to damage anything or scratch anything on the way out. And sometimes a clip will fall, but they're pretty easy to put back in. Yeah, it looks, first time the dash has been off, looks pretty dirty. Next thing we want to do is we want to remove those air ducts. There's 2 screws on each one, and there's also a screw down underneath where it meets the main heater housing. Make sure you remove the antenna cable. And once we get all the screws out, then we'll be able to rotate the air duct into a vertical position. This will allow us access to the back of the clock. And that's where we want to get to. There's our duct, vertical position. Okay, we want to get way back in here. So now we want to remove the main harness. Okay, the screws in the back, you'll be able to take those out with a 1/4-inch wrench. Pretty simple. Just take them out, loosen them up, pull them out with your fingers so you don't drop them. Okay, we'll get that harness off using some needle nose pliers. This will give us plenty of room to get back there. It actually wasn't too difficult once I pushed that harness back. Now we want to try to get that orange connector off. Pretty simple, just give a good tug on it and it should release. Pretty simple. Next thing we're going to do is remove the light bulbs around the clock, the fuel gauge, temperature gauge, and take 1 or 2 off of the speedo. This will allow you to push back the circuit board. There's a picture of where the light bulb goes. Now we got to remove 4 nuts and 1 screw. That screw on the bottom right there, it has to come out as well because it's holding the circuit board down. Once we get all these screws out and the light bulbs out, then we'll be able to push the circuit board back. Make sure you take off the adjuster knob. And you notice there's a little rubber tube. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. The new clock comes with an extra one. Took about 2 minutes to rotate the old clock out. Came out pretty simple. After 43 years of service, the clock finally gave out. You can hear a couple of pieces moving around inside of it. All right, here's the new clock. It's a Quarts. It's a replacement that they have at many of the Chevelle stores. Again, make sure you remove the adjuster prior to putting it in. Takes a couple minutes to rotate it around, and once you get it in there, then you'll be able to button it back up. Just once you get enough screws in the back, and then you can put the circuit board back together, and then just do everything else in reverse. Thank you very much for watching. Hope this helped.